The main purpose is population control and disease control, and to sell the fur, which is very fashionable in a lot of foreign countries, and it's unfortunate it's not fashionable. I caught my first muskrat when I was 12, I believe, and I'm 59 now, so you guys do the math. My cousins, I had everybody in my family on my father's side, a lot of them trapped, and so on my mom's side, so it was, and my cousins who were my mentors, they were like 5, 6 years older than I was, so I tagged along with them wherever they went, and they kind of showed me. I trapped beaver, and beaver are, they're very valuable, very beautiful fur. They block waterways around here. The county actually hires me to go in and eliminate beaver that are blocking culverts and flooding roads. Muskrats are valuable for ours also. They're the benefit is the population control mainly, and they do some damage to banks and people around people's homes where they dig their dens into the bank. Mink is more of a population control, and they're very valuable for coyotes. I trap they're valuable fur, but control the population so they don't. They actually prey on livestock if they get too plentiful. Hogs in particular around here. Red fox, they're very valuable fur. They're just a real neat animal. They're my favorite animal. They'll overpopulate real easy also and get mange if they're overpopulated. And that's ugly. Raccoons. I trap a lot of raccoons. There's a lot of raccoons. They're at a peak level now. They need harvested real bad. They're everywhere. I know when people hear the word trapping, they think of the cartoon where the great big trap with teeth in it. That's the furthest thing from the truth. We only use traps that are equal to the power of the animal and the size of the animal that we're after. So it's very species specific, and we set our traps up so it'll hold them but it won't hurt them. Put a lot of swivels on the chains, and we make thicker jaws, and we only use as much power as needed to hold them. This is a foothold trap. So what I use on land trapping, this goes down into the ground, is buried down about here, and when I pull up on it, I use a driver to drive this down into the ground. And when I pull up, it turns sideways, so it's into the ground this deep, so animals can't pull it out when I catch them. This trap I use for fox, coyote, coon on dry land. And it's got, I'll set it here so you can see, wide smooth jaws so it doesn't cut the animal's leg or foot. This is the pan of the trap. They have to step on that pan for the trap to fire. Now imagine this animal lives in miles of territory, and I have to make them step on that pan. So you have to know the habits of the animals real well and exploit their territorial instincts and their hunger. I've always gone through traps and modified them to make them more efficient, to make them more humane. I add swivels. None of these swivels, these are inline swivels that allow the trap to spin as the animal spins. I add those to the trap chain. That way no bones can be broke. This trap is designed to be a holding device. It's not a killing device. So when it goes shut, the animal's foot's in there, and he's staked down, so he's got the freedom to run in a circle. And usually after they're initially caught and they fight for about 10 minutes, they curl up and just go to sleep until I pull up on my truck, then they wake up. We're not trying to hide anything. We're not trying to cut animals' legs off. We don't have blood dripping from our fingers any more than anybody else does. Everybody has to live and everybody has to die. It's the same with animals. You know, everybody buys their meat at the store now, and they're so far removed from the natural way of life that they forget where they came from, because we were all hunters and gatherers at one time. And that's the only way we had to survive. Just because I do it in modern times doesn't make it any different. Because the last thing I want to do is damage an animal, because the pelt will get damaged, and that's what, it'll lower its value. Probably close to the state of the art right now. I try to keep up on that so I can say that I've been using the most humane methods I can to capture animals. Body gripping traps. To give you an example, doing damage control locally, and a beaver somebody else had been in there before me, and they had tried to trap this beaver. It was damming up a culvert going to a road, causing a big problem, flooding a lot of property, and threatening the road actually. And this beaver, I used a body gripping trap. That's what I usually use for beaver. And I found where he was swimming into the dam to rebuild it, and he would not go through the trap. I think he knew more about a body gripping trap than I did. After a week of cat and mouse with a body gripping trap, I put a snare in. He got caught in the snare and pulled the stake, and he got the snare off. But a week later, I put a foothold trap in, and I finally caught him in the foothold trap. And it was just like a 2-week ordeal. Usually it takes 1 day or 2 days. Domestic animals, it seems to me that they feel pain different than wild animals. Wild animals, it's just part of everyday life. They could care less. If they get caught in a fence and lose a leg, they either live or die. You know, there's nobody there to help them, just them. So, and a lot of them live. It's amazing what some of the wild animals live through. They just don't react to pain like we do, or what domestic animals do, I guess is the best way to describe it. Their two forces in life is to eat and breed. That's their two main goals in life. They don't view things like we do, I guess is the best way to put it. After animals reach a certain population level, they'll die of disease or something. So the way I'm doing it, I'm harvesting in renewable resources, and it gets used. Even though if an animal dies, it's not really wasted. There's something that's going to survive off that animal, whether it be a one-celled animal or an eagle. It doesn't matter. Something's going to benefit from that death.